A major victory for the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen. The coalition says that it has seized control of the Hodeidah Airport in Yemen from the Iran-aligned Houthis. This even as the coalition continues to attack pockets of Houthi resistance nearby. A spokesperson for the coalition issued a statement saying that the Houthi fortifications around the Hodeidah Airport are being destroyed. The coalition has accused the Houthis of placing tanks in residential areas of the port city as well. Coalition leader Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have pledged a swift assault aimed at taking control of Hodeidah. However, the escalation in fighting has wounded and displaced citizens and hampered humanitarian agencies. Hodeidah is the lifeline of Yemen's 30 million population. It's the sole strategic port of the country, located along the Red Sea. Its location is of prime importance. To the west are major international shipping lanes, while to the east is the fertile Tihama Plain, Yemen's most important agricultural area. Just to the north is the Ras Isa oil terminal and the nearby port of Salif. The United Nations fears the offensive will worsen what is already the world's most urgent humanitarian crisis. In fact, the UN Special Envoy met with Yemeni officials in the capital Sana'a on Friday to discuss the worsening situation in Hodeidah. 22 million Yemenis are dependent on aid, and an estimated 8.4 million are believed to be on the verge of starvation. Well, joining us live now from Amman in Jordan is Daniele Bagania, WION's West Asia Bureau Chief. Daniele, for the people in the area, and Yemenis in particular, even across the country, it'll possibly be better if this assault or this attack ends quickly, even though it will have strategic implications for the whole region as a whole.
Absolutely, yes. Such an attack, which means attacking a large urban center in order to reconquer the port, the quicker it lasts, the better it is for the civilian population, because even not allowing humanitarian aid to access the city of Hodeidah through the port for a few days would turn out to be a disaster. Remember, this is a port city through which more than 70% in normal situations of the goods reaching Yemen gets into the country. And it is a very strategic port right now because it is the only port that can reach the territory controlled by the Houthi rebels in terms of humanitarian aid, of course. And we have to imagine that all the cities and the towns and the villages under control of the Houthi rebels have been under large-scale blockade since at least 1.5 years. Therefore, this port is truly the lifeline. The less the offensive lasts, the easier it will be to avoid what can be a massacre.
Daniele, the Houthis, of course, are armed by, among others, Iran. Militarily, how strong are they vis-a-vis the Saudi-led coalition with Emirati ground troops also present?
When we talk about Iran arming the Houthis, we also have to specify that throughout the civil war, both the Houthi rebels leadership and Tehran repeatedly denied the fact that Iran armed the Houthis. The Houthis do control the capital city of Sana'a. We call them rebels, but this is even being a non-government armed force. It's not a small armed force. They're believed to be in the thousands, and also they did control many of the weapon warehouses present in Sana'a. So we are not talking about a small rebel group fighting against a regular force. It's a well-established force with political motivation, with also religious motivation. Whether they are sincere or not is not for us to understand. What we know is that they are working, at least in terms of propaganda. On the other hand, we have a seven-nation coalition led by Saudi Arabia. The most prominent member besides Saudi Arabia is the United Arab Emirates. There are thousands of men in an Emirati-controlled base in Eritrea ready to fight. And also on the ground, we have tens of thousands of soldiers divided in different groups. They are now calling themselves, they're labeling themselves as the Yemeni government troops. They're very much divided and they're controlled by separate entities. But as of now, they have a common enemy. So as of now, they're fighting on the same front. When it comes to a confrontation, it doesn't seem likely that the Houthi rebels have enough weapons and men and fighting experience to resist to a large-scale offensive led by a seven-country coalition. But they do control towns and villages, and we have seen in West Asia how dangerous and how difficult can it be to fight urban battles. However, in whatever big an army you may have.
Daniel Lepogani reporting from Amman in Jordan.